Another day, another shave. Today we're gonna shave with a sample of Moon Soap's Astoria that was provided by Tim Shaves. And he was so kind enough to send me a Japanese frameback razor. I believe it's a Focus vintage razor. This is his edge that he put on it. You can go to his YouTube channel, Tim Shaves, and check out his honing progression. I believe it was Shapton Pro all the way up to a Razotech natural stone finish. I haven't ever tried out a frameback before, so it's going to be new for me. And then we're going to finish off with the Aria collection Lac de Lune, which you can get at the Cajun Blades Etsy site, which is a really good finisher to finish up with. I'm going to wet my face real quick here and we'll get the shave going. I did a little reading up on Moon Soaps, which I've never tried before. This Astoria scent is more of a kind of a woodsy Douglas fir forest kind of scent. It's got some oak moss and some cedar and some cypress. I tell you, if you're looking for a good woodsy, kind of sweeter woodsy scent, this is the one to go for. I like it a lot. I've had a lot of different woodsy scents before, but this one just takes me to Pacific Northwest where I'm at. Plops me right down in the forest. Just imagining, closing my eyes and imagining the scent. Nice, sweet, fresh cut wood for a campfire. Add some water on this real quick. Today we're using a synthetic brush. Usually for a new soap I'll use my boar brush because I know how that one lathers up things, but with samples you don't get a whole lot and there isn't a tub to lather up and get soap on the brush, so I usually use a synthetic brush, and the Razor Rock 400 is a pretty darn good brush to go for, and we're using this bowl today. The Captain's Choice clone that I got on Amazon. So this is a tallow soap from what I read. We'll see how it performs. This will be my first shave with this. Of course, I put it in the barbicide and everything before hand and made sure it was disinfected. I'm sure Tim disinfected it before he sent it on my way. If there's anybody out there watching that worries about passing razors back and forth and stuff like that, I take precautions with all the razors I use, especially ones that are loaned out to me, to make sure that they're sanitary, just like a barber would do. Now, this is a very nice edge, very smooth shave. I'm having no problems getting through a couple days worth of growth. To mention that the edge lined up really well on the front, but then it was tough for him to get it to kind of be consistent in the backside, but it looked good enough for me. I mean, and it feels really good. It's not having a hard time at all shaving, and I believe the finishing stone that he used on this is really nice. I've never felt the finished edge of a Razotech before, if I'm pronouncing the name of that stone right. Tim gifted me this razor, which is amazing. Early on, when I first got into wet shaving, I found Tim's website, or not website, his YouTube channel. And that was quite a few years back. I don't remember exactly when I started, probably over 5 years ago at least. I sent him a razor that at the time was too aggressive for my skin, which was a game changer. It was a .86 or .87, I think, base plate from Razor Rock. And a bunch of sample soaps. And I think Tim has sent me in kind a nice razor. He said that he's been using that Game Changer as his go-to razor for years. Since he got it. Well, it was definitely not a beginner's razor when I first started wet shaving. I end up with a lot of blood and cutting myself a lot with that razor. Surprising with a safety razor, right? And then now I'm shaving with straight razors that have no guard at all. It's all practice, and you gotta learn when you first start out with a safety razor exactly what directions you can go with the blade, the angle that you gotta hold it at, not to make any cutting directions with it even though the guard's on, what pressure to use, because if you push down on it and start dragging like a cartridge razor, it's gonna eat your face up and you'll get a bunch of cuts and razor burn. There is definitely a learning curve with a safety razor for someone who, like me, when I first started out, the only thing I was shaving with prior to that was an electric razor. And before that, it was a Gillette Sensor XL ever since I started shaving from when I was a teenager. I still have my Sensor XL and blades for it, but every once in a while I sit there and think, well, maybe I should bust it out and enjoy a nice sensor shave. Nah, I'm good. Especially after starting to shave with a straight razor, there's really no going back. Maybe every once in a blue moon, just to show it, I'll have a shave or something, but I'll mute this tip real quick. It's feeling a little pokey. I'll just rub it on the mirror there. I didn't bother to mute the heel or the tip on this, the toe on this razor. Seems to be doing really good. I can see why these Japanese framebacks are so popular and why they sell for so much. I mean, they aren't the fanciest looking razor because it's a piece of metal that's been heat welded into a spine. So it's like a really good kind of metal, but cheap metal for the spine. As a cost savings, I believe is why they came out with it. This was about the time World War II was going on. They used framebacks like this, and if you're lucky, you can find the actual framebacks that the Japanese military carried with them and shaved with. Or at least that's what I read for time period. I could be wrong. There was a specific brand that they carried. I think it was Tala. Oh yeah, no problem getting through that hair. Going against the grain. I'm gonna have to buy some of this Astoria shave soap from n-Strops. This scent is just really amazing. Let's grab some soap out of this brush and see if I missed any spots. And then I wasn't sure if it had tallow in it, and I really do enjoy shave soaps with tallow. There are some decent soaps out there that don't have tallow in them, but I'd have to say my preferred shave soaps are with tallow. It just kind of kicks it up a notch for the slickness for straight razors, and also the face feel after the shave is really nice. The other thing I like in a soap is lanolin. Lanolin adds to good slickness and face feel as well. I was kind of bummed out when Barrister and Mann removed lanolin from their soaps, but I understand why, because there's some people that have lanolin allergies. And they wanted to be able to sell their soaps and let people enjoy their soaps to a broader audience, you know, bring it to a broader audience. People who wanted to enjoy their soaps that were having allergy problems were probably asking them to remove the lanolin. So they finally reformulated to a new base, and what they have right now is really darn good base. I mean, most soaps that are being sold on the market today, including most artisans, even on Etsy, are using a lot of really good skin foods and good butters and stuff in their shave soaps. So, I mean, you really can't go wrong. If you want to stay on the more affordable side of things, Razor Rock, that Italian barber, makes really good shave soaps. Excellent for safety razors and for straight razor shaving. And you can use any of these soaps. If you're a cartridge razor user, the only thing you got to look out for is that glue strip that helps lubricate. Those lubrication strips will kind of start melting down and it'll get all gooey on the face. So you want to get a cartridge razor that doesn't have a glue strip on it. Something like a Big Metal. Big Metal's really good. I like those for travel razors. Or to use them to line up a mustache or a goatee. You know, for somebody who's not talented enough with a straight razor to line it up. I gotta say, Moon Soap's really good. I'm very impressed. I'm definitely gonna be getting online and ordering an Astoria Moon Soap. I wish I had some of the aftershave to top it off with, but I don't. So all we're gonna be doing is sticking to an aftershave balm today, which is the Aria collection that you can get at the Cajun Blade store. It's really good. This guy right here, you get a ton for how much you pay, and it lasts a very long time. You only need maybe, I don't know, half an almond size. That's almost way too much, but I like to use it all over my face and in the hair, kind of as a light hair gel. So I'll kind of melt it up in the hand real good and then put it on all over the face. And then put it in the hair. Is the shave. So today we shaved with a razor that Tim Shave sent me to keep. Japanese Frameback, called the Focus razor, I believe. It's his edge, finished on a Razotech. We used a sample of Moon soaps and finished off with the Lac de Lune. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a good day, guys.